People who've been in a coma. What was it like waking up? Okay, so I was in a coma for 19 days when I was 22. I don't remember the accident at all, probably for the best TBH. I was driving home from a concert about 7 years ago and got T-boned by a truck that ran a red light. My car flipped and I had a severe traumatic brain injury along with some broken ribs and a punctured lung. The weirdest thing about being in a coma, I have literally zero memory of it. It wasn't like sleeping where time has passed. 1 second I actually don't even remember the concert. And then suddenly I was waking up in a hospital bed with tubes everywhere and my mom crying next to me. The waking up part wasn't like in movies at all. It wasn't like I just opened my eyes and was like, where am I? It was this really gradual, confusing process over several days. I'd be conscious for like 30 seconds, then out again. I'd mumble things that made no sense. According to my family, I kept asking for my childhood dog who had died years before. When I was finally awake enough to understand what was happening, I thought it had been maybe a day or two since the accident. Finding out I'd lost almost 3 weeks of my life was terrifying. I kept asking what day it was over and over because I couldn't process it. The doctor said I was lucky. The brain swelling could have been worse. I could have had permanent damage. But lucky doesn't feel like the right word when you're learning how to walk again at 22. Physical therapy was brutal. I had to relearn basic stuff like coordination and balance. My muscles had atrophied so much in those 19 days. I remember crying when I couldn't pick up a glass of water without spilling it. Things that used to be automatic just weren't anymore. But the hardest part wasn't even physical. It was the way everyone looked at me differently after, like they were waiting for me to break or something. My boyfriend at the time, Sean, tried to be supportive, but I could tell he was freaked out. We broke up about 2 months after I got home from the hospital. He said it wasn't because of the accident, but I mean, come on. The memory gaps were the worst. I still have this weird blank space where the accident should be, and the week before it is patchy too. People would reference conversations we had that I have zero recollection of. It makes you question everything about yourself when you can't trust your own brain. I had this nurse named Lola during my recovery who changed everything for me. She told me something I still think about. Your brain is healing, but it's also protecting you from what it's not ready to process. Time is just different after something like this. I'm hyper aware of it now. Like, we all just assume we'll wake up tomorrow, you know? But I lost 19 days in what felt like the blink of an eye. Sometimes I think about how my family lived through those 19 days, hour by hour, not knowing if I'd wake up. While for me, they simply didn't exist. I'm mostly recovered now. I still get headaches sometimes, and I have a weird sensitivity to bright lights. I had to give up my dream of being a photographer because I can't handle flashing lights anymore without getting dizzy. The strangest part of all this? Sometimes I have these incredibly vivid dreams about things that supposedly happened during those 19 days. Conversations my family had in my hospital room that I shouldn't know about. Songs that played on the radio. It's like my brain was recording everything, even though I wasn't there. My neurologist says it's probably just my brain trying to fill in the gaps with information I heard later. But IDK, it feels different. Like maybe some part of me was aware even when the rest wasn't.